of want to pick up on Mary's questioning over there. Is the White House or DHS instructing border agents to refuse ride-along requests from reporters? Because that's what a lot of our folks on the ground are hearing.
Again, I think we've seen, watching a number of the reports you all do, a number of Border Patrol officials who are quoted in them, who are appear in them, and certainly from the White House, we support that. It's coordinated through the Department of Homeland Security, and I'd point you to them for any additional questions about the logistics of press access.
But, our reporters used to be able to get ride-alongs during the Trump administration, and you all came in and promised to be the most truthful and transparent administration, and you all, oversee the Department of Homeland Security. So if you all wanted to grant access to the press, couldn't you just tell DHS to do it?
Again, we fully support transparency, and I would encourage you to talk to the Department of Homeland Security about any requests you have for press access or what you're looking to accomplish at the border.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Question. And one of the biggest criticisms of the Trump administration's Remain in Mexico policy was that it overwhelmed all these border towns in Mexico and created pretty dangerous living conditions for these migrants. And so now you have the exact same thing happening. Even though you all have rescinded that policy, these border towns are overwhelmed, and the president is saying, do not come. So how is the situation on the ground in Mexico any different?
Well, the situation on the ground is certainly challenging, in part because we inherited a dismantled system that wasn't prepared for processing asylum requests, that had left in place the Remain in Mexico program, where people were in a camp that was did not have the conditions that we felt.
But there are new camps popping up.
Well, I think what I'm conveying to you is that we are less than 60 days, about 60 days in. We are working to repair what has been an unprepared and dismantled system. It's going to take some time. Our policy is that we're obviously going to continue to make sure we're working through our laws, and the border is not open. But we also, as you know, have changed our policy to approach it in a more humane way and keep kids safe. And that requires putting in place more effective and efficient processing at the border. It's going to take some time. We're working through it. Every day we have new steps and new improvements we're taking to make the system more efficient and effective.
So is there a limit or a cap to the number of unaccompanied minors that are going to be allowed into the U.S.?
A limit or a cap? So should we send some kids who are 10 back at a certain point? Is that what you're asking me?
I'm not setting the policy here. I'm just asking you what the Biden administration's policy is. Is there a limit to the number of children that will be allowed in? I mean, the numbers we're hearing now, 565 on average every day. I'm just curious what the end game is here. How many ultimately would be allowed in?
Well, I think where we are is we're focused on some of the very specific numbers. So when we came into office, there existed about 13,000 permanent beds in HHS or permanent and influx shelter system facilities during the last administration. Thousands of these beds, approximately half, were taken offline due to COVID. Staffing was also reduced to put it on par with the new reduced capacity. This was sufficient for the prior administration. This is how we got here, because they were expelling children in addition to families and single adults. We decided, as you all know, that we will be more humane about how we approach this. There wasn't operational capacity built. The prior administration also did not consider that there were other mitigation efforts like masking, improved ventilation, cohorting, and other measures that would contain the spread of COVID. There's now revised CDC guidance, which means there's greater capacity in these facilities where we can expedite getting children into them. We are taking steps to ensure that when kids come to the border, we look and see if they have a phone number in their pocket so we can call the family member and get them to those family members as quickly as possible. These are the steps that we're taking at this point in time. Our policy continues to be, we're not going to send a 10-year-old back across the border. That was the policy of the last administration. That's not our policy here. Go ahead.
They're really showing themselves to do really well. Come on, man.